All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thursday night football. We got the Ravens hosting the Bengals here. This is, I would say, the best Thursday night matchup that we've had this season and that we will get for the remainder of the year. We've had some bad spots and bad matchups so far, but this one should not disappoint. As of right now, the Ravens sitting at 3.5-point favorites at home. The total is sitting at 46. I have a lean on both the spread as well as a lean on the total, and then I have two player props that I'm locking in as well. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to get to all that, but first, I do want to talk to you about Sleeper. They got a free square going on right now. If you are new and have not downloaded Sleeper yet, you can get this Lamar Jackson over 0.5 passing yard square, and you can get your first deposit matched with the link in my bio, guys. It's an absolute no-brainer. You could literally put in $100 and Sleeper's gonna go, all right, here, $100 more, new account balance of 200. Check it out, guys. That link is in the pinned comment, and you get this Lamar Jackson square. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this game. Two AFC North teams here. Cincinnati sitting at 4th. Baltimore obviously in the #1 position as they are 7-3. They're 3-2 at home, 6-4 against the spread. Cincinnati 5-4. 2-2 on the road, and 4-1 against the spread. Obviously, two good teams here, but both coming off of what you can call disappointing losses last week. So Cincinnati coming off that loss to Houston, and Houston's just shocking the world right now, right? But they were 5.5-point favorites. They lose that game by 3 points. And then Baltimore, they were 6-point favorites. They were honestly in the driver's seat. I could say that. Lamar Jackson throws a tipped pick 6, and then all of a sudden Cleveland kind of had this like momentum going, like, let's go do this thing, and they end up winning it on a last second field goal. So both these teams coming off of a loss, but what I will say, and I know Cincinnati is getting better both offensively and defensively, it seems like they've started to click, but I think this Baltimore team is better as of right now. Now, 3.5 points, it's outside the field goal range, but my lean is going to be towards Baltimore in this spot. If we just look at season metrics here, Baltimore, the #5 team when it comes to offensive DVOA, and Cincinnati all the way down at 13. They're 18th in pass and 16th in rush, whereas Baltimore sits as top 10 in pass, so not their forte, but the #1 rush team here. And we flip it over to the defensive side of the ball. That is where I think this separation might be more and more apparent here. Cincinnati actually the 4th worst team when it comes to opposing rush defensive DVOA rankings. So if Baltimore wants to run the ball, Lamar or anyone out of the backfield, Gus Edwards, like anybody, seems like they will be able to go out there and kind of control this game. And when it comes down to such a, not necessarily a rivalry, but a divisional game, Thursday night, prime time, I do think the tone's going to be set by running the ball. Is that where the explosive plays are going to come? Probably not. But in terms of a pick on the spread here, I do think whoever's going to control the pace of the game and control the game in general is going to be doing it on the ground, and I like the Ravens to do just that. They're the better defensive team. They are the better offensive team, though I do think the Bengals are starting to obviously come into their stride and maybe just at that same level, but not as of right now, not with the Bengals at home. Give me them minus the 3 points in terms of a lean. Now, I leave it as a lean because I'm giving the Bengals credit here, right? Like, they are starting to look pretty good. Last week, they were the 3rd best team DVOA metrics on defense, which has been an issue for them, right? And then they go out there and they were one of the better defensive teams. Now, yes, Stroud kind of lit them up and whatnot, but still, nonetheless, they were playing well, and that is a really good offense in Houston, at least as of late, that put up 30 points against them. So I want to give a little bit of credit to what I guess was their weakness and how it is getting better, but I'm just not ready to declare them better than the Ravens. If they win this game, it might switch up my entire mind of potential Super Bowl teams in the AFC and whatnot too, because obviously two, I guess you could say, perspectual teams here, right? But give me the Ravens in terms of a lean. I just don't know if I lock it in just yet. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for that. I'll let you know if it becomes a final play. But the thing is, that's outside of a field goal range. I don't like the number, and I got to give a little respect to Cincinnati, right? So it stays as a lean for now. Now, in terms of the total, obviously these two teams do have the weapons. They have the quarterbacks to be able to put up a bunch of points. But like I just said, the Cincinnati defense seems like it's getting a little bit better. You wouldn't guess it by the points per game allowed, obviously, but nonetheless, eye test and just advanced metrics. This is a defense that isn't as bad as we all thought it was or had been at any point here. And then you know what you're getting from Baltimore's defense, right? Like, this is a legitimate defense. 2 out of the last 4 weeks, they've held the team to without a touchdown. Detroit and Seattle, it's not like those are no-name teams. They did allow 24 to Arizona and did allow 31 to the Browns, so I do get that there's some sort of argument to be made there, but this is a legitimate defense here. So if I think these two defenses, one getting better and the other one is already kind of a tried and true good defense, I take a peek at the under 46 ever so slightly. Again, these are 2 leans. I'll keep you updated on the pinned comment if I end up rolling with these, but I just don't necessarily see this one being an absolutely high-scoring game, especially if the Ravens do kind of control the game through the ground. I could easily see this one being a lower-scoring game, right? 21-17, which would cover that, but also stay well underneath this number. So keep an eye on the pinned comment to see if either of those 2 plays make their way into our final plays. But let's talk some final plays now, and we're going to jump in and look at a couple player props. Now, I just talked about them, the Ravens being able to do it on the ground, especially against the quarterback. And the tool we're using here is Outlier, guys. If you want to check out Outlier, you can get 7 days free with the link in the pinned comment. Literally a one-stop shop for all of your research on games. You can go through and look at trends, player prop, team props, game props, all that, guys. We're on the player prop screen right now, looking at Lamar Jackson's over 39.5 rushing yards. Now, I say only, he still hit this in more than half his games, 60% of games this season, 6 out of 10. But still, I say only because this should be a line that he is absolutely crushing. But he did do it in week number 2 there against Cincinnati this season already. In Cincinnati, we scroll over here, right, versus the quarterback, they're 29th in rushing yards allowed to the quarterback. They obviously, I said that they're one of the worst teams against the run, or have been this season against the run in general, but even against the quarterback specifically, they're allowing tons of rushing yards. And we've seen a couple, quarterbacks actually rush decently well against the Cincinnati Bengals already this season. I think even Brock Purdy had a somehow decent running game against them. So you're looking at minus 136 odds over on FanDuel. This same line is minus 185 on DraftKings. So don't you dare tell me that ain't value, right? That's legit nearly 50 cents of value to the dollar there. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this over 39.5. Lamar Jackson, again, he has been hitting it more often than not. He's hit it in 2 straight games, and he did it already against Cincinnati here. And I like the fact that he's getting some volume. 10, 9, 13, 5, 10, 8, like, there's some volume here in terms of his rush attempts, right? So I like that spot. And again, 5.2 average rushing yards per attempt here. If he just rushes the ball, 5 times, we're already setting a floor at 25. He's been rushing it double that this season per game. So I do like to see that. Lamar Jackson over 39.5 rushing yards is our first spot here. Now we flip our pick to the other side of the ball. We're looking at Joe Mixon over 0.5 touchdowns. Now this really comes down to the value for me. Plus 110 for a guy to be able to put it in is pretty damn good, because when you scroll down and look at his red zone rush shares, he's literally getting over 92% of their red zone carries. This is not a team that even considers going to any other back or anything like that. 74% of the carries overall, right? But again, that red zone number, if they just get it to within the 5-yard line, Joe Mixon's going to have multiple attempts at this end zone. So I'll admit, this is a really good Ravens defense. I said it. Versus the running back, they're a little bit worse in terms of touchdowns against, but still top 5 overall and top 5 against the running back. But for that plus money, plus 110, minus 105 over on DraftKings, but FanDuel, we're getting it plus 110. There's some value there, and he's had a touchdown in 3 straight games. So I like the spot for him there as well. Those are 2 leans and then the 2 player props that we're rolling with. I think I'm going to cook up a same game parlay for this game as well. We cashed that in the, the Monday night game, plus 151 odds we hit for. So we love to see that. We'll cook that up. And if we post that as a YouTube short, I'll put the link in the pinned comment as well. You guys should always be keeping an eye on that pinned comment. It's kind of the Bible of these picks. But to recap, I like and lean Baltimore minus 3.5 and the under 46. I'm already locking in Joe Mixon touchdown and Lamar Jackson over 39.5 rushing yards there. Those are the 4 picks that we have. If we add anything or change anything, again, we'll add it to the pinned comment and let you guys know. But yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. If you did, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment 9.5 because you made it 9 minutes and 30 seconds into the video, or just about. Let me know that you're still watching. Let me, you could prove to me that you're not a guppy, because man, oh man, especially with the NBA videos, which right rightfully so, the guppies have been swimming around as if there's no sharks in the water. But there's a shark in the water, and it's coming pretty soon. We've just been a little cold in the NBA, but NFL, especially primetime spots here, we've looked pretty good, which you like to see. But yeah, guys, go ahead and comment 9.5. Let me know that you made it 9.5 minutes into the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.